Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 2023 mod career mode season number 3, where we're looking at the Craftsman Truck Series race results from their race of the Kansas Speedway, the round 10 cutoff race, where Ryan Preece won once again for the second time after being eliminated from playoff contention. Enfinger comes home second, Sanchez third, Mozak and Honeycutt the top 5. Other playoff drivers, Tanner Gray inside the top 10, and then Stephen Parsons, Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski 13th, 14th, and 15th, with struggling runs for Connor Jones, Matt Mills, and Colby Howard. So we will look at your updated Craftsman Truck Series playoff grid after their round of 10 has just completed here in Kansas. Nick Sanchez, of course, won at Dover to advance. Caden Honeycutt clinched on points a week ago. Then Grant Enfinger, Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski, Tanner Gray had huge point cushions. They were doing just fine. Same with Stephen Parsons. He advances by 35 points. Connor Jones gets the 8th and final spot, beating out Matt Mills by 13 points in this round of 10. So Matt Mills is eliminated from playoff contention, as well as your Daytona race winner who beat me in a photo finish, the 9 of Colby Howard. So Mills and Howard are out, leaving Connor Jones, Stephen Parsons, Tanner Gray, Ty Majeski, Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, Caden Honeycutt, and Nick Sanchez, your round of 8, as we're practicing for the Cup Series race at Bristol in the background. But yeah, now look at the round of 8 standings, where it is Sanchez, Majeski, Honeycutt, and Riggs, your current provisional final 4, as they stand right now in the standings with the way the playoff points have reset, with Tanner Gray only 3 points below Lane Riggs for that final transfer spot, Enfinger only out by 6, and then 11 for both Parsons and Connor Jones. Honeycutt above by 5, Majeski 13, Sanchez 15, as they go their round of 8 at Bristol, Talladega, and Iowa. Should be a very interesting round of the Craftsman Truck Series playoffs. So there's your Truck Series update. Standings going to the round of 8. Next episode in Bristol, they begin that, where one driver will likely lock themselves in the final 4 unless Preece or get another upset winner. We will see. But also, before we get to the Cup racing, we have the Xfinity Series have their playoff opener here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, where it was Carson Quaffle locking himself into the round of 8 with his second win of the season and his first in the playoffs here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Good shout out to him. I have a shout out to Garrett Smithley with an amazing second place run. And then Custer, Noah Gregson, and Sheldon Creed round the top 5. Jesse Love, Raja Caruth, Parker Retzloff, playoff drivers in the top 10. You see not the finishes Zilish, Allmendinger, or Sammy Smith we're looking for, or Connor Mozak, who is the worst finishing playoff driver in 24th. So there's your updated Xfinity Series race results from Bristol. Now look at the updated Xfinity Series playoff grid here after Bristol. We got Talladega and Charlotte remaining in the round of 12. Of course, Quaffle now locked in that round of 8 with a win. Sheldon Creed, Cole Custer, Noah Gregson, even Jesse Love, I'd say, are looking pretty good with their points cushions as long as they don't have disastrous runs at Talladega. Zilish, Caruth still looking solid at both 20 or more above the cut line. And then you got Parker Retzloff, 4 points to the good above AJ Allmendinger, who's 4 points below the cut line with Sammy Smith. Alfredo and Mozak also below the cut line by 10 and 16 respectively. So there's your Truck and Xfinity Series updates. You get ready to head to today's main event, the NASCAR Cup Series. Bass Pro Shops Bristol night race, round of 16 elimination race here for the Cup Series at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Welcome in to the last great Coliseum. It should be a banger tonight. We'll find out who is going to be in victory lane at Bristol. We've had some dramatic finishes the last couple of seasons between... Also, I think we won last season. I think the year before that we lost in a photo finish to Christopher Bell. Stories of the race. Anthony Alfredo is a friend. Tyler Reddick, huge implications. He comes in below the cut line, fails tech inspection, starting at the rear alongside our teammate Ross Chastain, who had to change his engine. So now Reddick and Chastain to the rear of the field have their work cut out for them if they want to advance to the round of 12 as you're green and underway here in the last great Coliseum. The Bristol night race has begun. Can we go back-to-back here in this race? We will try to do that today as you're on the outside of Michael McDowell and Josh Berry. McDowell, last episode's winner in Atlanta, as we're bouncing off the 34 now. Josh Berry makes the pass for 10th. Now we get around McDowell for 11th. Set our sights on Chris Buescher for that 10th and final spot in the top 10. The 17 trying to point his way into the round of 12. You get around him. How about Corey Heim in the 67? Really good top 10 effort today. In 9th place, we dive to the inside of Corey. Get around Heim there for 9th. Set our sights now on Josh Berry. A few laps there, go the inside of the 4 of Berry. Move into 8th. Now we're working on the 12 of Ryan Blaney, another playoff rival. Blaney running in 7th. In front of him, you got Chandler Smith in 6th. Getting physical now. Contact between Blaney and I. We get physical to move him out of the way. Now we try to clear the 18 and Chandler Smith, not quite clear. He slides behind us into 1 and 2. We secure 6 now. Christopher Bell kind of coming down on us, not giving us much room there as we try to break into the top 5. Give Christopher Bell a huge bump and run. Blaney almost wipes out behind us. We're 3 wide, exited 2. Big contact. Seabell, Larson, and I all squeezing into each other, continuing to bang doors. Robbins racing to the extreme here, Bristol to 3 and 4, but we make it happen. Driving to 4th. The upstairs, Chase Elliott gets loose. We go to the underneath the 9 car and look to take 3rd away from Elliott, who comes in this race below the cut line. He's got to find points. I believe he's 2 behind Chris Buescher. So he needs to beat the 17 and then maybe a few other guys on points to advance. Elliott sideways. He saves it. We just made a little bit of contact. He almost completely wiped out. He saved it. We get into 3rd. I feel upstairs. A big shot to Denny Hamlin trying to get into 2nd. Lots of bumps. Hamlin saves it. We are clearly faster than him here, but he's holding us up right now, taking our line away. Hamlin being extremely defensive here at Bristol. We continue to give him bump after bump after bump, but Hamlin continues to hold us off. By the way, Alex Bowman in the 48 is leading this race and driving away at Bristol, trying to get a good point stay to put himself in a good spot to advance to the round of 12 in the playoffs. So 18 to go on the stage. We dive underneath. Hamlin now here through 1 and 2 of the 11, able to hold us off right there. Couldn't quite make the pass once again now. We give Denny Hamlin the bumper, saying, hey, we're here. We're trying to get by him and get out of the way. But Hamlin's still fighting. Now we're side by side for 2nd. Into 1 and 2 we go. Can we finally clear Denny Hamlin? Yes. We clear the 11. Got a little bit physical, but we got it done. We get by Hamlin into 2nd. Field upstate. We are in the middle of lap traffic, but we have caught Alex Bowman. Are on his outside looking for the race lead with 14 to go in stage 1. Bump and run to Riley Earps now in a squeeze between 4 different cars. Ay caramba. Almost wrecking off of 2 there. We save it into 3 and 4. We have now taken the lead from Alex Bowman. We are clear now. We are leading our first laps of the night here at Bristol with just a 13 to go in stage 1. A few laps later, we are about to lap Joey Logano, one of your playoff contenders. Logano goes a lap down here in Bristol. Same for the 45 of Tyler Reddick, who could not afford that, coming in 15 below the cut line, now running 26th a lap down. That could spell the end of his championship hopes. Now 7 to go on the stage. We have caught our teammate, the one of Ross Chastain, but we're just going to stay behind Ross here. We are not going to put Chastain a lap down. A little bit some team orders here to protect our teammate, keep his chances alive in the playoffs by keeping him on the lead lap. Last lap of stage 1, we've given up like a 2.5 seconds of our lead, but we had a big enough cushion where we should be able to hold on to the stage win and let Ross Chastain stay on the lead lap in 20 seconds. So we just follow Ross, stay behind him here. And Chastain will stay on the lead lap, but we will win stage 1 here at Bristol. We have already locked ourselves in the next round, but we are just adding playoff points, really, is what we're doing here. So we get the stage 1 victory. You love to see it. Bowman is 2nd, Elliott 3rd, Chase Briscoe in 4th, and Christopher Bell runs out your top 5, followed by Josh Berry, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs. How about SVG in 9th, and Denny Hamlin earns the last stage points. That puts Hamlin and Bell like within 1 or 2 points of locking themselves into the round of 12 on points. Berry and Briscoe, Elliott all start to cut into that deficit to Chris Buescher at the cut line. I believe Elliott is now above Chris Buescher for that final spot by 6 points. The record away for stage 2. Elliott and I on the front row. Elliott got into us there. Big contact. Obviously, he's a rival. Going to make it hard on us here as we're getting physical. Once we get through turn 2, Elliott can give us a bump and run. Now Elliott back to our inside. Now the fight for the lead is on between myself and Chase Elliott here in Bristol. We are way up top. And here comes Josh Berry on the bottom. Could Berry pull off an upset to continue the Cinderella story of Stewart-Haas Racing and make the round of 12? We will see as he dives to our inside. And now a few laps later, Berry got by us, put us in the wall. He took the lead. Blaney 2nd. We dropped to 3rd. The caution has come out on the racetrack. We couldn't quite find why, but the yellow came out. So 16 to go here in stage 2. We come down pit lane, restart all the way back in 23rd. Last car on the lead lap. And now we're going to try to drive our way through the field, hoping that the little bit of a tire advantage will help us a bit. So we got stuck by an Eric Jones for William Byron for a few laps until now we start giving the 24 a bump. Get to the hole in the middle, 3 wide pass. Get by the 24 of Byron, who's having a tough run today. And now we work on passing the 21 of Cole Custer as well as the 17 of Chris Buescher. 4th position on the racetrack. So we go by the 21 and 17. Now we're up into 17th. As Buescher not having the run he needs to advance. He could be in serious, he is in serious jeopardy right now of being eliminated from the playoffs. We go by Kyle Busch. Now working on his teammate Austin Hill, having a solid top 15 run today. We go underneath the 3 past Austin Hill. Set our sights on Ross Chastain in the 1, running in 14th. So now we dive underneath Chastain. 12 to go in stage 2. We go by Ross, working underneath Ty Gibbs now. We got Larson sideways in front of us. Of course, us two, the only ones locked in. Larson won the Southern 500. We clinched on points, and now we're slamming Larson into Ty Gibbs. Big hit, all three of us into the wall. Big issue there between the three of us. Just ruined Ty Gibbs' race. This big counting between Larson and I. A little bit too over-aggressive, trying to drive right back through the pack. Speed ups there on the outside of Christopher Bell now to break into 11th position, and his teammate Chandler Smith to break into the top 10. And here we go on the outside of Smith. We go into the top 10 and go right by the outside of Corey Heim. Still in a solid run today now for 9th place on the racetrack. We go by Corey into 9th. A few laps later, Chase Elliott tries to come up into our line. We give him a little bump and cross him over on exit to turn 4. Now with just 7 to go in stage, we are 9th. It'll be a tough comeback here to go chase down Chase Briscoe and win this stage. We'll see what we can do. A few laps later, we go into 8th by Chase Elliott. Now on the outside lane of Brad Keselowski in the 6th for 7th. Now we go by Keselowski, move into 7th place, go on the outside of Alex Bowman and take 6th away. Not quite. Bowman, Hamlin, and we're going to be 3 wide for position here in exit of turn 2. We end up passing Hamlin for 6, crossing over Bowman to the inside. Aggressive move, driving into 5th place though. What a move. And how about Shane Van Gisbergen up to 4th, having an incredible run tonight here in Bristol. We get around SVG on the outside lane, move into 4th place, set our sights on Ryan Blaney in the 12 into 1 and 2, right to his back bumper. He's stuck in lap traffic. We dive underneath Blaney, take 3rd place away. Now set our sights on the leaders SHR duo of Briscoe and Berry. Last lap of stage 2, we go by LaJoy. Now Briscoe and Berry are the next 2 cars up in front of us. With 9 laps, we went from 7 laps to go on stage from 9th to 3rd. We're now chasing down the leaders, Briscoe and Berry. We're going to close in on here. Coming out of turn 4, we give Josh Berry a bump sideways. There goes Berry. He wrecks across the line, and we steal the stage victory from his teammate of Chase Briscoe in a photo finish. You see Berry's destroyed car. I just cost him 2 crucial points. We steal stage 2. Briscoe 2nd, Berry 3rd, Van Gisbergen 4th, Hamlin runs out of the top 5. Then Bowman, Blaney, Keselowski, Elliott, and Corey Heim round out your top 10. Unbelievable end to the stage, which now puts Josh Berry and Ross Chastain, the 2 drivers fighting at the bubble, with Buescher about 10 or so points now below the cut line. Briscoe still in a must-win scenario. Same for Tyler Reddick, as now 61 to go here at Bristol. We dive to the inside of Hamlin and Briscoe, 3 wide. Aggression on the restart gets us to the front. Back to the lead we go. And a note to take in is that Hamlin and Bell have officially clinched spots in the round of 12 on points after the stage points they have earned today. So good job to both of them. Bell and Hamlin join myself and Larson as at least the 4 drivers locked in the round of 12. And now Chase Briscoe making it happen on the inside. Big contact. Briscoe puts us in the wall, but we give him a huge shot to show our frustration through 3 and 4. I didn't like the way he was racing us to try to get this lead back, and we continue to battle for position now with 59 laps to go. And now we get physical, move Chase Briscoe out of the way, and take the lead here in Bristol. Now Josh Berry is closed back in on us for the lead. Here comes Berry. He's trying to take the lead away. Gives us a bump. We overcorrect it. Hit the wall hard. Correct down to Josh Berry. Berry goes for a huge slide through 1 and 2. But Josh Berry getting physical. Takes the lead away at Bristol. Racing for his playoff life here. I had to give him credit for that one. That was just a good move. He got underneath me. I just made the mistake of overcorrecting and hitting the walls. We now secure 2nd from Hamlin. And now we have caught Josh Berry, tracked him down. Laps later, lap traffic. We go 3 wide middle to make the pass side by side for the lead down the front stretch. 45 to go in Bristol. Now we will clear Josh Berry going through the middle lane of lap traffic. And we are back out front here at Bristol. And later in this run, we are now about to lap Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher, 2 of your big playoff contenders. Bell, of course, already locked in on points, so he is just fine. He can cruise the rest of the day. But it's Chris Buescher running 20th. Cannot afford to be put 1 lap down here in Bristol, but that is what has just happened. We have lapped Chris Buescher at Bristol, and that will likely put an end to his hopes of advancing to the round of 12. As now we go by Larson. We lap Larson a few laps there. Now we're going to lap William Byron in the 24, who had a really big cushion, but starting to slip with no stage points, running 17th here in Bristol. He is not at all safe here. We have physical racing him and Ty Gibbs, put Byron a lap down. And now trouble, the 45 of Reddick blows a tire right in front of us. And that will bring out the caution, as Tyler Reddick's season may have just come to an end with a blown tire in turn 3. So here's a replay. Reddick was running 15th. He had gotten back on the lead lap, and the tire just blew on him into turn 3 and 4. Reddick goes crashing, drops all the way down the grid into the deep 20s, loses a lap, and with the amount of points, he was already below the cut line. He was put in like a must-win almost, and looks like it's game over for Tyler Reddick. With 30 to go, we came down pit road, so restart here in 6th place behind Hamlin, Keselowski, the Stewart-Haas Fords, and Ryan Blaney. To try to work our way forwards. 29 to go, we go underneath Denny Hamlin, take 5th place away, and now have to pass 4 Fords in front of us. Josh Berry, who's now starting to slip back as this run goes on, down to 4th as we try to get by him for that 4th spot, put him down to 5th, and then Keselowski up ahead in 3rd. Blaney now leading. Berry we squeeze him up there in the wall. Not the cleanest pass in the world, but we get it done and take 4th away from Josh Berry. Now he sets sights on Brad Keselowski for 3rd. Give Brad a big bump there through 3 and 4. He saves it. Hamlin now giving us some pressure for 4th, as now he gets us to get into the quarter panel of Keselowski. We dive underneath Brad through turn 2. Now side by side for 3rd place, clear of Keselowski for 3rd. Lap 103, Stenhouse blows a tire from the middle of the pack. You see Ricky spinning there, gets collected by Anthony Alfredo. Still no caution. You see Stenhouse comes down. Here comes your leader, Ryan Blaney. Chase Briscoe's there. I'm flying, and I pile right into the back of Ryan Blaney. As you'll see here, as I wasn't even looking ahead of me. I was looking behind that. Stenhouse wiped me out. I completely forgot Blaney was there in front of me. I completely just ran right into his back bumper, sent him sideways, which actually allowed us to make the pass for 2nd on him. But just my incompetence. And now the next stop, Stenhouse is still slow. Costs Chase Briscoe, makes him go slow. As we go full throttle, we go by Chase Briscoe. And just like that, with the help of Ricky Stenhouse being a blown tire for about a full lap, gets us the race lead. As we've gone by both Briscoe and Blaney, and are now on cruise control to victory until the caution will come out here with 19 laps to go. So we will pit here and restart 14th with just 15 to go, because I am believing in the power of 4 fresh tires will get us through the fields. We're on the outside of Corey Heim. Big squeeze there. Contact to 67. Heim gets checked up in the middle. We go by him, and now on the outside of Larson. 3 wide with Kyle Busch and Eric Jones. Got to get these positions. Now we're into the 10th position. Into the top 10 we go. 14 to go. Now trying to work the outside of the Hendrick duo of Elliott and Bowman, who I think are both in pretty good spots to advance to the next round as well. I think all the Hendrick drivers are in good spots right now. We go the outside of Bowman. Go by Elliott. Now here comes the 18 of Chandler Smith in 7th. We go by the 18, who's had a solid day, which is what he needed to do to advance. Hamlin's already in 6th. How about Chastain? Our teammate's up to 5th right now. He has the points on Josh Berry to make it. I believe it was 2 points that separated them. So Berry needs to beat Chastain by 1 spot to get in via tiebreaker. We'll see 12 to go. We go by Blaney. Hamlin sideways. We're into 4th. 3 wide middle of Keselowski and SVG, who is somehow in the top 3. And now we'll take 3rd away from Van Gisbergen on the outside lane. Clear Keselowski for 2nd and chase down Briscoe with just 11 to go now. We have caught the 14 of Chase Briscoe. We go to the outside lane, looking to make the pass for the lead and for the win here with just 8 to go. Briscoe getting physical, doesn't want to let us go by. His season is on the line. He has to win this race to get in, but we clear Chase Briscoe on the outside lane, take the lead away. And now white flag in the air, final lap. Presented by Credit One Bank at Bristol. We have driven 3 seconds away from Chase Briscoe and are looking to cap off a incredible first round of the playoffs with a win in the Bristol night race, and we are going to win at Bristol. We win the night race to cap off the round of 16 with some huge momentum with a max points day heading into the round of 12. As we burn it down in celebration down the front straightaway here at Bristol. What a performance. We clutch up late in the race, outdueling Chase Briscoe and Josh Berry for the win. And now we burn down the front stretch, which I believe, we were racking up I don't know, we've lost count of how many times we've won this season, but it's maybe our 7th win, I'm thinking 7th or 8th on the season here at Bristol. A very impressive performance in our Best Buy Chevrolet. We get the win. And now we get to celebrate here at Bristol, so we prevent Chase Briscoe from saving his season and continuing the beautiful storyline of the Cinderella Stewart-Haas Racing going out on top. Not going to happen for Chase Briscoe. He does not win. He is out. The question is, what the points between Chastain and Berry, where did they finish? And who's going to get that final spot in the round of 12? That's be Matt Kenseth style, the burnout here, right up against the pit wall. Celebrate victory. And now we will go to Victory Lane to celebrate with the crew who had great pit stops all night long here in Bristol. Now look at your final race results. Of course, we get the win here in Bristol. Chase Briscoe comes up 1 spot short from saving his season, finishing in 2nd. He will be eliminated in the round of 16. Hamlin, Elliott, Keselowski, 4th, 5th, 6th. They will all advance, as well as Chastain. He beat Berry by 4 spots. He did exactly what he needed to do. Chastain will get that final spot over Josh Berry. Ryan Blaney, Chandler Smith, Bowman, all in the top 10. Blaney, Smith, and Bowman, they had enough points. They should get through, no problem. Larson, 14th, already won his way through. Bell in 19th. We know he clinched. Busher in 20th, didn't get the points. He's done. Byron should make it in 21st. Reddick is out in 22nd. Logano in 29th may just scrape by a couple of points after terrible runs. Now here's your updated playoff grid after the round of 16 finale. Of course, Larson and I have the wins in the round and has made our way through to the round of 12. Hamlin, Bell made it comfortably on points. Bowman, Chandler Smith, Byron, Keselowski, Blaney. Logano managed to sneak by 15, even though he ran like 30th all day. Chase Elliott advances by 10, and Chastain gets a final spot by 5 points over Josh Berry, who slipped back late in the race, cost him the chance to make it. And then Briscoe out by 14, Busher out by 18, and of course Reddick by 33. Just had a rough day. Wasn't meant to be. One of the drivers from last year's Final Four out. Shocker there. As we now look at your round of 12 playoff grid, we start out plus 66 in a really good spot to make the round of 8. And then the Hendrick cars, Byron, Bowman, Larson, plus 9, plus 9, plus 7. Bell, Chastain, Chandler Smith above the cut line. Chandler Smith on the bubble, 3 points above Chase Elliott, who is tied with Hamlin. Logano out by 5. And you see the rest of the grid there. Some guys got some work to do. We'll see how it all plays out in the round of 8. But before we end the episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to my channel members. So thank you very much to Brenda Breen and Jeremy Isley. I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot to me. Helps this channel continue to do great things. And I appreciate it. And if any of you viewers want to become channel members as well, you can click the join button down below or the link in the description down below to join and get access to exclusive perks. There's early access to my videos and much, much more. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.